We spend a lot of time talking to manufacturers, production managers, procurement teams, and we keep on seeing the same misconceptions coming up. Today, we're here to answer all the questions to make sure that your life is not harder than it needs to be. My name is Kipkemboi Mayo. I'm the General Manager at Nimax East Africa. And with me, I'm with Linnet Mugo. Linnet is the Senior Sales Engineer at Nimax. And I would want us to discuss some of the misconceptions that our customers have. So to start us off, what is a common mismatch that you encounter when you find a new customer?
I would say that most of the clients think that a printer is just a printer. They just want ink on their product and get them to the market. Yes, but what they do not know is that we have a whole lot of things that we look at before we settle for a coding machine on your line.
Thank you for that. It's very interesting when we walk into customer sites and we have a range of technologies. Could you maybe just break it down exactly what technologies we have, just in a simple...
Okay, at Nimax, I'll start probably with the commonest technology that our clients know in the market. That's a CIJ, a continuous inkjet printer. We have other technologies like lasers. A laser is whereby it engraves instead of using ink as a printer. Then we have TIJ, our thermal inkjet printers. This one now uses a cartridge when doing the printing. And then we also have another technology called TTOs, the thermal transfer over print. This uses ribbons. So all these technologies now work differently on different applications on our clients' plants. Yes.
We've encountered situations where a customer always just tells you, I want a printer, I want a coding machine. And in many instances, they're insisting on the one that they've used before. Could you maybe share a quick example where switching technology really improved the production line?
Yes. I'll mention a case where my client shipped in a line together with a coding machine. And I didn't factor in aspects like environment or the nature of the product that they were working on. A good example is this client now. They were doing bleaches. Bleach is very hazardous when it comes to like the what they release during the manufacturing and the whole production process. So the coding unit that came was not well suited for that, especially because the IP rating of the body of the hardware. So we had to come in with our AX350i that has an IP of 66. Yes, that works well on such an environment. So it was costly for the client because they had to do away with the first technology that they had shipped in the line with.
Another misconception is that coding is just a date stamp. Yeah? And many customers underestimate traceability, they underestimate compliance, supply chain, and maybe, brand protection demands around a certain product. It's something that maybe people haven't really thought about. And it's something that we might need to educate our customers, right? What is the most underestimated compliance requirement that you see in the market today?
Many clients look at coding as just the stamping of the expiry date on a product, and most of them actually do it because it's a compliance issue. What they don't realize is that the coding process at the end of every production line is actually the core backbone of tracing that product to the line, even while at the shelf in shops. Yes. On the same, like when it comes to traceabilities, as a manufacturer, you're able to trace back that product to which line produced it, what date it was manufactured, the operators that was working on it. So it helps in cases of maybe if there was a mistake in the market, you want to trace it back to who produced this, when it was produced, and maybe to help you cap such a mistake in future. Yes.
When we talk about regulatory requirements,
yes,
you'll find different sectors have different regulations.
Yeah.
I understand in the pharmaceutical industry, the expiry date needs to be visible 5 years after the product has actually expired.
That's true.
Do our customers know this?
I would say when it comes to industries, some of the clients know that, but now they do not know the right technology to use that can sustain the batch that they code in the market for that long, or probably what will work well on the substrate that they're using for it to maintain its quality, the quality of the prints in the market during that period. So it's my obligation as an engineer to let them know the right technology to work with.
And I like you mentioned something about the branding. You know, with a poor print, it actually spoils the reputation of a customer.
That's true. And again, it can be very costly to a manufacturer, because look at a case where a wrong code goes to the market, or a smudge, or the code has rubbed off. So that means a recall happens. And I'm looking for an example of my clients in food where they are handling perishables. So it means all that batch that was in the market goes to waste. And that's so costly to the client.
So very good point. So if we explain, you know, with the recalls,
yes,
how do we show the importance of traceability for the code?
All our technologies actually come with different ways of doing the traceabilities. It can go from as simple as a secret batch number to all the way to QR codes and barcodes. So yes, I take my clients through depending on how they want it to appear on their products. Yes, because most of our solutions at Nimax come with that provision.
So another misconception is if it's cheap, it's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, price sensitivity in East Africa is real.
Yeah.
But cheap coding solutions is not exactly the cheapest, and it sometimes becomes expensive in the long run.
Yes.
You know, in terms of poor print quality, you find downtime, you find a lack of local support.
Yes.
So how has been your experience in terms of trying to share to your customers, not to only just look at the upfront cost of a printer, but rather the total cost of ownership?
Thank you. Like I mentioned, every client wants to invest on the fairest hardware they come across in the market. But what now I help them see is the benefits they get from the coding solution that I provide for the application. You know, many clients invest a lot on maybe expensive lines and forget that the coding solution that comes at the end of the line could actually cost the whole production line if it's wrongly chosen. So that's where I come in. Look at it this way. A client will not look at how the machine is consuming. Most of the coding machines come, actually all apart from laser, come with the consumables. So they work with consumables, and some technologies might look cheaper when it comes to hardware, but if you look at how much they're consuming during the production, actually a client will have lost more than investing on a slightly high hardware.
Give me a real world example that you've seen a customer who's bought a cheap solution versus actually the right solution.
This is very common. Unfortunately, many clients learn about this after now it has happened. I'll give you an example. Like a client will go, similar to the first one, who ships in a coding solution without even checking whether they will get consumables in the countries that they ship it to. Take an example, Kenya. They ship in a line all the way from outside and then comes with a coding solution. They don't have support locally. They do not have consumables locally. And in case of a breakdown, they do not have someone to support that. So let's just look at the support bit. If that machine is down, the coding unit is down, and the production does not happen again for like a day or maybe even a few hours, and the probably handling lines at high speed, the cost of the production that they will incur in that 1 day or 2 days or 3 hours would have been sorted by investing on the right application, where probably the hardware was slightly high in cost, but have a local presence of support.
I think people really underestimate the importance of local support.
That's
true.
You
know, when we talk about local support,
yeah,
we're talking about, you know, presence of trained engineers. We're talking about spare parts availability locally.
Yes.
You know, it's how quick we can get your production line up running. And that local support is something that maybe we underestimate a lot in this market.
Yes.
I have a good question here. How do you have the conversation about price and value without really sounding like a sales pitch?
For me, whenever I go to propose a solution to my clients, I actually don't even start with the pricing aspect, because I start by showing you the benefits you get from the application I'm proposing to you. So at the end of the day, the client actually sees the value and not the cost. Yes, because in this case, I don't sell a product, I sell solutions.
So to wrap it up, I would want maybe you share with me, if a production manager calls you today and they're looking for a coding solution, what is the first question you'll ask him?
my first question is always, what's your product? Once I know the product, I'm able to narrow it down to the substrate, the environment I'm working with. Because, for example, if my client is doing sugar, I obviously will not propose a coding solution that is in line to bottling. I will not propose a unit that probably is supposed to work in a harsh environment because I already understand the products. Yes, I always start by knowing what the product is. Then the next one probably would be the substrates and the speeds of the lines. Yes.
Thank you very much, Linnet, for that lovely conversation. And to our viewers, that's it from us at Nimax. Again, my name is Kip Kemboi Mayo and Linnet, our senior sales engineer. I think we tried to wrap up some of the issues that our customers have been facing, and it's our responsibility to make sure that your production line is running and we reduce your downtime. Thank you very much. See you on the next one.